Talking about systems thinking, I couldn't help but remember the words of a songwriter. He said, "Let us have a world of ordinary people living their life the way God wants us to. And if we have a world of ordinary people, extraordinary things will happen to me and you." The whole aim of living is not to be better than others or to be so extraordinary, in quote, that we tend to look down on others. The aim of living, however, is to be effective in whatever it is that we try to engage in. This is one of the hacks that systems thinking help us to achieve. The most important thing is that, can I be able to be effective in what I choose? And if I will be effective, then definitely I must have some set of goals, some set of vision, something I'm looking forward to achieving. It's like Jim Rohn says. He said, success is goals. Everything else is complementary. But we have mentioned earlier that there is nothing that helps you achieve goals repeatedly like engaging in a system that makes you do it over and over, even if it appears like you are not doing anything extraordinary. This thing that builds results, that compounds over time, that changes you. Let's look at how this thing could be in real life. The most important thing about success is knowing that it is a personal journey. And it's the same thing when it comes to building your own system for hitting goals in a company, goals in your personal life, and goals in your life as a whole. Now, look at it this way. You want to have a life, right? But to have a life, you must learn a lesson from the elementary biology of how a life is formed in a normal human system. We know that a human being is alive because there are many systems that are functional in that one body. So they come in together of the digestive system, the respiratory system, the circulatory system aided by the heart, and many other systems come together and birth what we know as a life of a human. So when you remove a heart, you isolate a heart and put it in all the physiological conditions in the world, and it remains a heart that is pumping, it's beating. You will not look at this heart and say, oh, this is a heart that has a life. And the simple reason is because a heart does not make sense unless if it is coming or interacting with other systems in the body, like the respiratory system and many other systems. So this points out that if we want to create a life that is functional, we have to consider more than just our career, more than just our spiritual life, more than our family life, and more than our desire for good health, vacation, rest. All of this, however, when we bring them together, can form an interesting thing we call life. So that means if we want to hit the goal is, how can we create one system? Then how do we relate the other systems together so that it births what we call our own lives, right? So let's look at how we can create just one system. If we want to create one single system, what we do is we create different activities. And these different activities, when we repeat them around one central goal or idea, it tends to create or birth one system. If we are taking maybe your system for personal growth, the simplest way to grow personally is to glean information. And how do you do that? You read. So if you're engaging in a system for personal growth, you definitely will engage in an activity that involves reading, an activity that involves journaling or filing the thoughts, those incredible ideas that you found inside what you are reading, and then a system that includes you thinking. After you file those things, you keep them close, where you can meditate on them over and over again, so that it dissolves in your mindset and it produces something out of you. So after you think about it, it begins to influence your belief system, it influences your attitude, and because of that, it begins to birth something out of you, because as you think, so you are. So it births a different mindset, different behavior, and you become somebody different. So it helps you it becomes better. So you are now a better human being because you glean on a system of personal growth. And surprisingly, it starts by learning. Whether you learn by reading, by watching movies, whether you learn by taking classes online, the most important thing is, or you just use your audiobooks, whatever it is, you must glean information somewhere. You must think about it. It must dissolve in you and change the way you look at the world, and then you can possibly say you are growing personally. And this is just one system of personal growth, right? So one activity builds up with another activity, and it finally births one system. But that's not your life. This is just one aspect of your life. What about other goals that are important, like your finances? Like you are making investments somewhere, you are selling something somewhere. All of this must come with an activity. Your spiritual life, how do you do it? Maybe you pray, maybe you read the Bible or any other holy book, your Quran, whatever it is you do, you are exploring, right? And you must engage in different activities. So different activities form one system, but different systems, when they interact together, they form a life. So let's understand. And the basic thing to know is that every time you want to create a system, it has to be personal, just like success is personal. Now, how do we create systems? The first thing to do when you want to create a system around your life is to consider the big picture. And now you may probably have heard this a long time and people repeat it, big picture, big picture. But it's true that you cannot do anything without the big picture. And like it says, it simply means you having a vision that is very, very big. So you are looking at all the systems that you want to create and you put them in one frame and you call them a picture that is big, just like it says, big picture. Now, big picture is not always an image. Sometimes it's a theme around your life. What exactly is those things you are trying to internalize to become part of you? Every man is composed of a few themes around him. Some of us are loyalists. People know us as people who are loyal. They know that whatever it is, if this person is involved in this project, they stay with it till the end. They understand that this person understand how to maximize relationship. So when it comes to loyalty, just go to him. As long as you can have him in your train, he remains there. He doesn't waver or shift. Some of us are known to be people of great staying power, and they say, if this person is taking this project, just be sure that he will succeed, because no matter what it takes, he or she will stay. He will not run away. A story was said of Muhammad Ali when he was to fight one of the heavy world champions, and what he did was that he realized that this guy is obviously stronger than him in size and in mass. So he had to devise a big picture that would sustain him to win the match. So what he discovered about this heavy world champion is that this guy does not have staying power. While he could take Ali with one punch, Ali realized that if he could withhold the punches for a very long time, this man would be tired at some point. And that was exactly what he did. So during the fight, he took all the punches and he blocked them. After a while, just like he predicted, the giant began to be weak. And that was when Muhammad Ali took his chance and brought him down. So Muhammad Ali realized that one of his few themes around his life is staying power, and he explored it. So all of us have these few themes around our lives, and even in our business, some of our business are built with just few themes. For example, Wall of Excellence is built with the theme of connecting people. Whatever it is we do, as long as it will bring one person to another person, we explore it. We're not doing it for ourselves, we are doing it for the people who will come and learn. So we've done it with money, we've done it without money, we've done it in many places repeatedly. And these are a few things. So number one, what is your big picture? Number two, after you have the big picture, you prioritize. Priority or prioritize is from the French word prior, and it means first. So first, what is your priority? What are you prioritizing? After you have the big picture, yes, the big picture is there, but now you want to hit one goals at the same time. So what is it that you are taking first? And this thing you're taking first is your priority. All right. So after you have the priority, okay, I have a big picture, but after considering everything, I realize that this is the first thing I must take. So if this is the first thing, you now measure. Now, in the whole scheme of things in the world, where do I belong? Right? I'm talking about measurement now. Where do I belong? Am I really in a place where is the wall at? In this industry that I am standing in, where is the wall at? Is the wall grossing, this industry, is it grossing 1 billion, 1 million naira? If where exactly is the wall at? I need to measure so that I can begin to focus on where I will go next, right? So you measure. You are measuring because measurement helps you to play differently. Everyone plays differently when they realize that their work is being measured, right? So you begin to measure your progress, and immediately you measure your progress, you build a system of what we call accountability around it, which is very, very important. When you have this system of accountability, it helps you measure it well with the structure. Now, the next thing you should look at when you want to create a system is organization. How organized do you want it to be? The calendars we have and the time we have, the time clock, is just there to help us to set our lives better. And one way we do it is by organizing it. Organization helps us to know that if I wake up today, or every Wednesday, or every first 3 days of the month, or every first hour that I'm awake, these are the things that I would do because I want to hit one of these goals that I'm prioritizing, which I know will accumulate to birth what I call the big picture, right? And if you want to do this, then you employ an organization. That is when you employ the help systems you need. Who is going to help me to do this? How can I ensure that then you set team around you? Organization is about getting other people to be part of it. Now, the next thing to look at is consistency. You can only have a system around you if what you're doing can be repeated again and again. Without repeating these actions, you don't have a system. What you have is an activity that has a deadline. It dies. And since it will die, it will not form a system. Think of it as a heart beating just once in a day and never beating again. What do you think will happen to the entire system? It dies. And then it means we will not have a human that we call alive. Why? Of course, the heart is dead. So whatever it is that you want to engage in, the little activities that you involve in your life, they create a system. And the more you stop it, they take away this system. Now, we should be concerned that this system may probably be the most important system in your life. So before you think of stopping an activity, before you think of stopping this thing you're doing, think about the effect it will have in your overall life, right? So this is the most beautiful and the most important thing to understand when it comes to you building your own system. Let's take a recap before we go. First, ensure that you understand the big picture. Ensure that you are calculating exactly where you are so that you can prioritize. Employ a system of measurement. Then, as much as you can, organize it. Repeat it using consistency, and your life will begin to bear some things you have not even bargained for. Beautiful things, of course, because nothing beautiful happens to us unless we are organized. Wealth and money and financial abundance and success in every sphere of our life is birthed by an organized life. Unless we're organized, we are not ready and we're not willing for the most beautiful things in life. So thank you so much, and thank you for making it to the end. Please go ahead and subscribe and even share. Thank you so much. God bless you.